Don't call him Dementia Lotzi. Don't call him Fraud Lotzi. Respect Don Carlo. Respect a legend. He's left Real Madrid. He will now be the next coach of Brazil. The question is, can he bring back some respectability to one of the most important sporting teams of all time? And will this actually work? So it's over. It's all over, man. It's over, John. So what is it saying here? I'm gonna coach Brazil from May 26th. Like everything in life, things come to an end. I enjoyed my time here. So it's over for him. I want to just speak briefly on the whole Real Madrid angle of this because I think that's very key here. Before I get to Brazil, look, Carlo never wanted to leave. He had no intention of leaving. So he always wanted to say what's up. He always wanted to say what's up. Like he wanted to. I think Carlo probably wanted to retire at Real Madrid. Do you know what Carlo wanted? Which is not feasible, not realistic when you know how Real Madrid works. He wanted to be like what was it Oscar Tabarez for Uruguay? I think that was his name, Oscar Tabarez, or again Wenger for Arsenal. Even better, Ferguson for Man United, where I literally am not freaking team. I'm part of the fabric of the team. I'm that chalatiri, I'm the grazie for that team. So, but Real Madrid are not operate like that. Like Real Madrid are not a sentimental club, bro. When Florentino Perez told Cristiano he can go piss off, when that guy has one of the craziest goal scoring records of all time, I knew that okay, this club is built differently. So this is not a club of sentiment. This is not a club of loyalty, of long term. It's a club where you either deliver or you can go screw yourself. Easy. No Diddy, who's actually in court, by the way, trial. Easy. Cassie, who said that? I didn't say anything. So, and when you just look at how this was an abysmal season for Real Madrid. Now people will say, wait a minute, Champions League quarterfinal, second in La Liga, Copa del Rey final, cool. If that's Lugo, that is an amazing season. If you're Lugo and you get to the UCL quarters, you come second in the league, and you lose a Copa del Rey Mysterio. If you're Lugo, pop open all champagnes, pop open all the freaking bottles, pop open every champagne. If you're Lugo, but last I checked, Real Madrid ain't Lugo. It's Real Madrid, and with the team they had, with the acquisition of Mbappe, finishing trophyless is insanity, and that is a sackable offense. Like, Carlo, you have to be sacked. To finish the season trophyless, you have to be sacked. Now, Perez screwed them over. Needed a Toni Kroos replacement. Needed a striker. Needed a defensive cover, specifically in January. But it did not happen, and it is what it is. But look, it's had to happen, and Carlo, he knew that. He didn't want to go, but he knew the writing was on the wall. And when you get Benzova and Donova cultivated, jacked up, jade up, and Lara Crofted, and Vanessa Blood, with no lube, by your sworn rivals 4 times, you need a first-class ticket to Siberia. I'm sorry. Now, here's where things get interesting. I want to tackle this in a multitude of ways. Surface level, it makes sense. Surface level, like just on the surface, when like you look at like the ocean, you just go, hey, ocean. You see, like you look at the surface of the ocean, oh, that's cool. But if you now dive deep inside, piranhas, sharks, those like jellyfish, those electrons, and who knows, maybe one of those freaking Navi from Avatar. You don't know what's hidden beneath the sea. So what you see on the surface of an ocean ain't the same. Oh, cool, that's a starfish. Like that's a, salamander, whatever it's called. But go deep. Oh, wow, Jaws. Oh, wow, a jellyfish. Oh, wow, freaking SpongeBob. Basically, You don't see SpongeBob on the surface of the ocean. SpongeBob lives beneath the ocean. So on the surface, this makes sense. Carlo Ancelotti let the ball as a ball, gives a blueprint, doesn't micromanage, very old school, very attacking, gives agency to players, gives agency to individuals, and trusts the individual talents. For Brazil, oh my gosh, this is music to my ears. So Halfop, why are you doing this video when it works? Carlo Ancelotti's managerial style, Brazil's philosophy. Okay, let's write. Here we go. Except for one thing. So this is a little thing. Just an itty bitty thing. You know, I was like, I think I was on Facebook, reading through. And then I saw on a video. I think the video is When in Brazil, Where Brazil. So it showed your boy R9, showed your boy Dino, showed your boy Rivaldo, Cafu. I was like, wow, man, Brazil used to be like guys, this shit. Wait, hold on, let me bring it up here. Guys, like, this jersey used to be feared. You see this jersey, you're like, wow. Like, this guy's, it meant something. Like, back in the day, like, growing up, I was like, once you saw this jersey, it's like, wow. It meant, because I remember one time, I was just playing for this kind of team, it's like this team of, like, embassies. And these embassies have, like, countries. And I think so I was playing for this Japanese team who just invited players, and we played, like, the Brazil team, like, their embassy team. And just even seeing that jersey, even if it's like, it's not the real Brazil, but just they represented Brazil, but just seeing that jersey, just playing against them, like you could feel the aura. Like, you know how people talk about aura? Like, no, aura existed with old Brazil. That was aura where you feared them. And you lost the game in the tunnel. Once you look to your left and like, oh, that's Pele, that's Carlos Alberto, that's Garrincha, that's Zico, that's Socrates, that's Jairzinho, that's Romario, that's Dino. It's like, oh yeah, that's Cafu. Yeah, I think, yeah. We lost. Like when you see ballers, those guys, yeah, I think we lost. So what's the issue here? The issue is Rodrigo, Richarlison, Vinicius, Cunha. None of these people would make the cleaning team for that Brazil team. Forget the bench. Forget people left at home in the squad. They wouldn't even be allowed to clean the boots. Like, as we've already said, the only player who would start is Neymar. And, two players would start of the generation, Neymar and Thiago Silva. They're the only two players of the Brazil generation who I think, they have a good chance to start. Thiago Silva and Neymar. We already know that Neymar is one of the most talented players of all time, one of the most talented players of the generation. If Thiago Silva stayed in a major market, either in the Serie, La Liga, or Premier League, he would be considered the best defenders of a generation. You know how I always insult defenders where, like, I don't rate Chiellini, I don't rate Godin. Thiago Silva is the only defender of, like, this generation who I say, okay, he can talk to the peak defenders. No one else can. No, Chiellini, Van Dijk, Ramos, cool. The only defender that can talk to those peak defenders, top guys, is Thiago Silva. For just the pure talent of defending, the art of defending, and understanding what it means to be an actual defender. Forget about scoring goals, just to defend, Thiago Silva. So those only two guys, Neymar and Thiago Silva, are the only guys who I'd say that can probably say what's up to that generation. But outside of that, so we have a problem here. Carlo, this Brazil team you're walking into don't have a peak Cristiano. They don't have a peak Modric. They don't have a peak Toni Kroos. They don't have a Ramos. They don't have a Dani Carvajal. They don't have a Marcelo. They don't have a Benzema. They don't have a Gareth Bale. So the baller's ball, I don't think is going to work the way you think it's going to work. So as we now go deeper into the ocean, and we now see the piranhas, the sharks, and we now see SpongeBob, it's like, oh, this is actually what it looks like on the surface. Because as we're saying what's up to your boy SpongeBob, SpongeBob is saying, yo, bro, Vini, Rodrigo, Cunha, Richarlison, they ain't R9, they ain't Romario, they ain't Kaká, They ain't Pele, they ain't Jorginho, they ain't Rivellino. No, they're in this freaking dudes. So I I don't see how this will actually work. The idea makes sense. The idea makes perfect sense. But I think in reality, when you just look at it, it just makes sense. And you know what I've always said? Is the issue was never the coach. It was never Tite's fault. It was never Dorival Jr.'s fault. It was never the coach was not the issue. It was the personnel. It was the talent. Neymar has nobody even close to his level. Romario had Bebeto. R9 had Rivaldo. Pele had, take a pick, Jorginho, Rivellino. Like, heck, Kaka had Luis Fabiano. Like, all these guys, I mean, like, there was another guy close. There's nobody even close to Neymar's level. Rivaldo, Arnold were like, they were like this. Bebeto Romario is like this. There's Neymar. There's like 6 planets, 6 lifetimes, 1,000 years, a millennia, 2 craters, 5 Milky Ways, and 6 universes. Then you can maybe throw in a Vini up in there. That's the gap in talent between Neymar and everyone else in this Brazil team. It's gargantuan. It's vast. So they have an issue here. Okay, but I'm not one of those guys that like to complain, because then what's the point of this video? Oh, okay, it's not going to work, blah, blah. So I like to problem solve and look for solutions. Here's the thing. He knows these players. So all the other Brazil coaches, okay, well, Brazil, but you don't work with them week to week. You don't really know their strengths, but most importantly, their weaknesses. You see, the key thing about knowing a player is his weaknesses. Now, very few players have weaknesses. Through a Messi, an Arnold before his knee got grenaded, a Maradona, a Pele. Very few have weaknesses, but most players have weaknesses, glaring weaknesses. Carlo knows these players way better than any of these Brazil players. He knows Militao. He knows Endrick. He knows Rodrigo, and he knows Vini. And Vini has been at his best under Carlo. Because Vini has been a main character for 2 UCLs and 2 La Ligas under Carlo Ancelotti. So perhaps his knowledge of these players, of working with these guys for the best part of 10 months for each season, perhaps gives him an advantage over the other Brazil coaches. So maybe Carlo be like, bro, all that stuff that we're telling you, it's wrong. Vini, this is what you need to do. These are the runs you need to make, and this is where you need to stand. The midfielder, this is how we have to structure ourselves. This is how we have to, this is what our shape is. This is how we have to move the ball. Vini likes the passes played like this. Vini makes runs like this. So you have to play this kind of a ball. You have to know that he's always going to make this run. He's always going to stand there. So because of that knowledge he has, based on just how much he's coached him, perhaps it can give him an advantage. Vini is talented because we've seen him do things. Rodrigo is not as talented as Vini, but he's shown flashes. Cunha's high. He high. So it's not as if we're dealing with San Marino here. Okay, we're not dealing with San Marino here. These players are talented. So all because they're not as talented as the peak Joga Benito doesn't mean that they have no talent. So my thing is, perhaps Carlo's knowledge and his managerial style, which I feel goes hand in hand with the Brazil philosophy, I think that may bear fruit. So we'll see what happens. But look, here's the thing right now. I don't think this will work. And I don't think these guys are doing anything in the World Cup. That's just my view. Put my view to one side. Carlo's bread and butter is knockout football. You know how I talk about weaknesses? Carlo's weakness is league football. Hence why he's never gone back to back. He's never defended the title. He just doesn't do league football. But there is a guy who's won the most Champions Leagues. And we know how difficult it is to win a Champions League. So if there's anybody best placed to lead Brazil to a World Cup victory, to a Copa America victory, it's Carlo Ancelotti. Because he knows how to win these kinds of competitions. So if we roll up into the World Cup next summer, Carlo knows how to win these tournaments. He knows how to create a strategy to to maximize people for a specific game. High jeopardy. Depending on what condition he's in next summer, maybe. And you know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And I don't believe he'll be there. And I believe that he's already done and he's cooked. And his last chance was 22-22. But shout out to McKinney who basically screwed him over. But if by some crazy miracle he turns up next summer for one, and I mean one last hurrah and one last gamble, because I'll tell you right now, Brazil they have no chance to win the World Cup. But if there's any chance they're winning the World Cup, they need him. I'm not going to say his name because you know who it is. They need him. And if Carlo has him at his physical and mental best, maybe a miracle of all footballing miracles might be possible. Think about becoming a Football Hut member. If you're a desktop merchant, just click on the join button below, over here. Or if you're a mobile phone merchant, just click on the join button below the video over here and join the true elite content crack addicts. Peace.